Hallo alle zusammen. Heute machen wir ein bisschen mit den Ordinalzahlen und vorher ein bisschen Vokabeln. Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about the ordinal numbers, which we were supposed to talk about yesterday, and a little bit of Vocab Background. That was from chapter 3 of our book, so that was a German 1 thing that we learned. Some of you guys didn't have me for German 1, so I'm not 100% sure if you guys got that, but most of you should have had this. So, the vocab background is how to say different days. So you guys should still know the word heute. We use it on a regular basis. So we have heute. Heute ist der 23.02.2016. Today is the 23rd of February, 2016. So we have heute. I want you to repeat that out loud, please. Heute. Then we have gestern. Vorgestern. So yesterday is gestern, and then the day before, so we're just sticking this little preposition in front of that. The day before yesterday is vorgestern. So then we have morgen. We use that all the time as well. Now notice this is the morgen that is lowercase, not uppercase. If it's uppercase, it means morning. And then the day after that, or over that in German, is übermorgen. So repeat after me. We have morgen and übermorgen. Now technically we can add more of those prepositions to those days. Sometimes you'll hear this one you won't actually hear, but vorgestern people do say, so the day before yesterday. So you can add on to that. Okay, so that's a little bit of vocab background that you should have. Having that, what the heck are the ordinal numbers? Now the ordinal numbers, as you hopefully have figured out when doing your workbook page yesterday, the ordinal numbers are the numbers that you use in dates. And you also do them when you're ranking things. So when you're ranking different things or when you're writing dates, you need ordinal numbers. Now in English, this is today's date. Today is February 23rd, 2016. So that is the order. Now, that is not the same when you're writing dates in German. So heute ist der 23. Februar. I'm going to add 2016 to that end, is how you would say it written this way, but the 23rd of February is also how we write it when we write it in numerical order. So, we would write it this way, and we do periods usually in between those things. So, the month is in the middle. That is really important because the way we see it is you start with the smallest thing and then you go to the biggest. So day, month, year. In English, we do it the other way, so just remember this is the way it goes. That also means that when you're saying these as numbers, you would say, heute ist der 23.02.2016. So today is the 23rd, 2nd, 2016. Okay, so the numbers themselves. I already went over these yesterday, and I think some of you guys heard them, maybe not all of you, but you guys read this in the textbook on page 215 as well. This had all the numbers. What you have is you have 5 that are a little bit of oddballs. Zweite is actually not, but they include it in there. So we have erste, zweite, dritte, first, second, third, siebte, and achte as the oddballs out. For the rest of them, all you have to do to make it an ordinal number, so the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, in order to do that, all you have to do is write the number and then add a TE to the end. So 4 is your number 4, TE makes it vierte, so that's 4th. 5, 5, fünfte, 5th. 6, 6, sechste, 6th. And so on. And that holds true all the way until you hit 19. Now, of course, when we're doing dates, we need to go at least to the 31st, if not further. So once you hit into the 20s, that little ending changes. And you're going to go to STE. So 20 is 20, so this is the 20ste. And then after that, you're going to have the same thing as you always did. So 21 is your number. And then STE is your ending to make that the 21st instead of 21. So it sounds almost the same as in English in that case. Okay, I'm going to flip the page. When you're doing dates, of course, you have to remember how to ask. Now, if you want to know what today's date is, there are two different ways you can ask in German. The first one is, der wievielte ist heute? So, the what number or the how many's is today is really what you're asking in that case. Der wievielte ist heute? Now, this is using, first of all, der, and second of all, ist. So when you're answering, you're going to stick to the nominative case. Now, I don't want you to get super confused. There's only two groups of endings because all of the months have the exact same gender. So that makes it super easy. So when you're answering, you would say, heute ist der. So you're going to repeat that little word from the front. And then you're going to say 23. So I'm going to write it out for you as well. 23. And then if you wanted to add the month, this is where it would go. And you can either, of course, say the number or you can say the month. So zweite. And just go underneath. Zweite. And then you have the year, and we're in 2016. In German, we actually say that as 2016. I'm going to use my room for that one. 2016. Okay, so notice, this is just a cardinal number. There's no period behind it. For the dates, you have this period, so that's your index. We have the STE and the TE. So if you're starting it with der when you're asking the question, you're gonna say der in the answer. Now, I said there were two options, so you have a second one. The second option is den wievielten haben wir heute? First of all, you have the extra word we, so the what date do we have today is what you're saying specifically in this case. And when you're saying the den, you of course then have to also stick to the den in the answer. That means that you're going to stick to accusative case, but things are still masculine. So, heute haben, same verb, wir. You're going to say your den, and then you're going to still write this the same way, but the endings change. So we have drei und 20. 2016. So I'm just not going to write that again because it takes too long. So when you're doing that, notice how the endings became ENs. That's because you have the den right here, and that's because you have accusative case. So what I want you guys to get away from this to remember is whenever you're making ordinal numbers, this is your endings, the STE and the TE. You have two ways of asking what the date is. This is one, this is the other. Match the first word to your endings. If you have der, no extra ending. If you have den, you're adding an N. Okay, that's what you need to remember. Now, there is one more thing, and that is we have dates prior to 2000 that we sometimes maybe talk about. Not all that often, but for example, some of you might be born in 1998 or 1999. So in English, we say this 1999. Okay, in German, I think I've talked about this once before, but just in case, we split this up. So 1999, you're going to cut down the center and you're going to say 1900. I'm going to run out of room, so I'm just going to go over here. Und 90. So whenever you're doing dates in the 1900s, this is how we pronounce them. Remember again, this one we just said 2016. So not 2016, we're going to say 2016, just the regular cardinal number. When we have the 1900s, you're going to do 1999. The same is actually true if you ever go at 1816. 1700s, all of those hundreds, you're going to do this. We're just not doing it once we hit 2000. So that about covers it as far as dates go. The activity that you guys were supposed to do in the book was on page 191. This is what it looks like. So what you had to do is you had to, first of all, recognize what date they were talking about, actually calculate the number, and then you were supposed to add the endings that you needed. So in the example they have, today, heute ist der 10. Den wievielten? So first of all, that tip-off was right here's your den. So you were supposed to add a 10 to the end of it. Haben wir dann in einer Woche? So today is the 10th. So what date is it in 1 week? So you're doing math. So 10 plus 7, because a week is 7 days. Hopefully you guys know that. So that means the 17th. So they're saying, in einer Woche haben wir dann den, again, here's your den, 17. And you're adding that N because of the den, and because it's accusative case. So I'm going to do one more with you guys, and that is the second one. So then we have heute, wenn heute der 4. Okay, I have a der, and I have ist right here. So it's not the same as this den. It was, you do not add an extra ending. So I had to add the TE to make my ordinal number. No extra ending. If today is the 4th, den, notice how it switches, wie viel, 10, TEN because it's a den, hatten wir dann gestern. Now it's going into the simple past and it's talking about yesterday. Dann hatten wir gestern den, so 4 minus 1 is 3, and that was an irregular one. So you're supposed to remember that that is dritten. Notice the extra N because we again have den. So that was the assignment. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to finish going over your own assignment. Check if you did it right. If not, fix it. And then I'm going to review the assignment for you guys to make sure that you understood. If you finish, when you finish, let's be realistic, when you finish, I want all of you guys to go to Quizlet. I added a separate Quizlet word bank or flashcard set that is just the ordinal numbers. Now all of them just have the TE ending. Again, the N you have to remember is just for when you have the den question. All right, get to it.